An exciting day in Rock Hill as Mark Prosser has been named the men's basketball coach at Winthrop University. With Mike Pacheco, I'm Dave Friedman, Director of Athletics. Dr. Ken Halpin is here. Why Mark Prosser?
We went through an extensive search process. We applied a list of objective criteria to a massive number of candidates, which helped us kind of get down to a batch. And then we moved forward to some additional criteria with that batch. And then we had a collection that we zoomed with, and we talked through each of those that we zoomed with and really narrowed down to 3 candidates. I'll say we had 3 candidates who all had some connectivity with our current roster. That was really important to us. And as you guys know, the transfer portal is a new universe. I think I heard somebody joke the other day, we're not far off from having more kids in the transfer portal than we have on rosters. So timing was essential, and connectivity with our team, because our team is one of our greatest strengths, and so keeping that in place was important. And as we went through the process, and I said this earlier, like he went to Western Carolina, 7 wins in year 1, 19 wins in year 2. He demonstrated he understood and he could perform as a head coach at a very difficult location. He's just so connected in Rock Hill. He verbalized that unbelievably effectively. He demonstrated how he can take those experiences but still keep the trajectory of our current team, and understood all of the other nuances of what a head coach has to do. Because I always say, and I say this all the time, head coaches, you realize, do very, very little associated with their sport. There's so much that goes into it. There's so many other pieces on how to try to help our team be successful in the community. And he demonstrated all of that. And then ultimately, he was just so impactful in demonstrating how, not why a great job, but why this job mattered to him. He'd circled it from day one, and I believed him when he told me that there's no one on the planet who wanted this job more than he did.
Continuity obviously was a big factor in this, but how important was it that Mark went away for 3 years, had that head coaching experience, and then maybe able to hit the ground running here?
I think that's a really good question. He specifically said he personally felt it makes him a stronger candidate for the Winthrop job, having head coaching experience. I'll tell you, Winthrop has men's basketball. I was just verifying this with Dave over there this morning. Winthrop men's basketball has never hired a sitting Division I head coach for its head coach. And that's a huge deal, no different than, I've been told all the time, like it was a risk when they hired Ken Halpin here because he'd never been a sitting AD. And I've seen in hindsight through mistakes that I've made why that's such a big deal. And so that head coaching experience was unbelievably essential and valuable. And it wasn't everything. I mean, we had a lot of candidates who weren't sitting head coaches, but demonstrated a lot of great characteristics. The trick with hiring somebody who's not a sitting head coach in being head coach is you don't know till you know. Like I always like to say, people always ask the question, has somebody called a timeout before or not? The way I like to describe it is the 6 inches between the second to last chair and the last chair on the bench is a canyon. And there's so many things that assistants don't get to see that the head coach has to do. And that's not, like you can only get that by getting experience. And that's why it's so hard for assistants to overcome that hurdle, so to speak. But Mark's done it. He's shown he can do it. He's worked with an administration. He's worked within a community as kind of the head coach. And so those factors all really did play in, and were really essential in a part of making the ultimate decision.
What will constitute success?
What will constitute success? That is a great question. I got that question a lot in the interview process. So I personally am not that concerned over on-court success, outside of the fact that it is a symptom of what I believe is success. So success, in my mind, is maintaining the culture that we have and continuing to grow that culture of commitment to excellence, what we keep hearing about the ABCs, success in academics, success in basketball, character being of the highest priority. And I'm a very firm believer that if that culture is protected, then those symptoms of success will land where they belong. You'll win a lot of games, you'll graduate a lot of student athletes, you'll be revered in the community, and you'll sell a lot of tickets. And so those are lag measures that I think associate with what success will be. But truly what success will look like is a continued orientation of aligning with the cultural trajectory of our athletic department that we've worked so hard to build, and that Coach Kelsey had worked so hard to build even before I arrived here.
What is a reasonable expectation for whether it be wins and losses or NCAA tournament experience or advancing in the NCAA tournament, like where this program is right now with Coach Prosser taking over, what would you say we can expect in the near future?
Well, I'll tell you what Mark and I talk about. We're here to hang banners. That's when you walk into this building, that's the first thing a recruit notices. We got banners in the rafter that our entire conference would kill to have half of them. That's what our tradition means and stands for. And then add to that, we are ready for the next step. Our next step is an advancement in the NCAA tournament. That's our next step. So we're working together on what it takes to continue to win championships and hang banners in this Coliseum and grow towards that next step where we have the talent, we've shown it to be a team that can advance in the NCAA tournament. Now we got to prove it. And so those are two things that we've talked about and we're going to continue to talk about.
And I know the process was really fun. It was probably crazy because of the timeline, but you actually had a good core of community support in actually conducting the interviews.
Yeah. I put together a small advisory panel of people, and again, if you were involved in the search as a candidate, or if you were involved in the search as somebody being helpful, then we applied objective criteria to try to create reasons why we did things. So we tried to convert subjective information into objective criteria. So if you were on that advisory committee, you were originally from Rock Hill, you care deeply about the future of Rock Hill, you can in some way, shape, or form help us from a leadership standpoint, giving standpoint, and you have demonstrated that you can put the program and the community in front of your own personal interests. And so that advisory committee was absolutely that. We had experience giving to Winthrop, we had experience with Eagle Club leadership, and we had experience obviously in the professional landscape of the NFL. And those advisory committee members helped with this process to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses and help to drive towards what was the right decision for Winthrop, if that makes sense. And because somebody earlier had said, Ken, congratulations, you got your guy. And I was big on, no. I actually worked hard to remove myself in the very final stages to allow for objective criteria to come forward so that we were hiring Winthrop's next best basketball coach. And I was trying to honor my duties to simply shepherd that process in a manner that has integrity so that every single step was defensible about why the person who was going to be hired is what was best for Winthrop and for Rock Hill.
Winthrop Director of Athletics, Dr. Ken Halpin, we're excited for the future.
Me as well. Thank you guys for everything you do. It's exciting to be here.
And everything Winthrop is available at winthropeagles.com.